Let's start by bringing all of our body into movement. Spine moves, arms move, legs move. You're just making the joints find little circles, body opening and closing, folding, elongating. Finding curves that are big, taking up a lot of space. Finding curves that are small movements of the spine, small, delicate movements. Mixing the two together. And as you do this, starting to orient to the space that you are in, letting your eyes go where they want to go, eyes exploring the environment you are in. And inviting in a sense of gratitude as you do that. How lucky it is that we get to practice together in this way, across time and space. So we're going to do experiments with layering, inspired by Gaga style. So as I give cues, they don't necessarily cancel out the previous cues. We're going to try to keep our body in movement this whole time. And so when in doubt, you can always come back to this arms move, spine moves, legs move. Big movements, small movements. Circles and curves. Maybe you'll notice naturally some waves start to come out. So one more moment of orienting. Let your eyes fill the space that you are in. And notice sounds. The sound of my voice. Maybe you have some music playing in the background. If you don't, maybe you want to pause and have some music going in the background. Optional. Sound of your breath. Maybe the sound of your feet moving on the floor. Maybe occasionally you make contact with yourself and that creates a sound. So keeping movement everywhere in the body, bringing special attention to your center. However you visualize your center, nourishing it with some breaths. And taking that center as high away from the ground as you can, up on the tippy toes, and then down low. Can we go down low without going all the way into the floor just yet? Of course, this is your time, so if you want to go into a little floor work now, feel free. Keeping movement everywhere in the body, keeping aliveness in your hands and feet. Breathing into your center, taking your center closer to the ground. Sometimes all the way close to the ground, as low as you can go, in different types of squat. You can also explore this with different types of lunge type movements. And no need to go all the way down every time. This can also just be a traveling through more of a horse stance. In fact, let's play in that range for a little bit. Keeping movement everywhere in the body and taking these big steps where I turn on the big powerful muscles of my legs. Keep reaching into space with the arms as you travel through this mid-gate region. Different ways, like legs being together and coming down, sitting on a invisible chair. And then mixing in just a little bit longer, the ways we take it down, low to the ground. Good, hopefully that's built up a little bit of heat. Next up, let's bring some attention to the chest. Heart and lungs, ribs, scapula. And just take a moment to see how many little movements you can make in the torso. Shoulders moving. Notice I'm still weight shifting side to side, so there's still stuff happening in my legs, even though most of the attention is right here. The stickiest part of the spine. Keeping the focus there, bring in the arms again. Really reaching the arms and using the leverage of the arms to peel apart these different sticky layers of the thoracic spine, chest region. Keep going. And from here, let's find some full body yawn stretch, some pandiculation. So full yawn. Let go. Come into this like I'm floating in water type movement as I start to prep my next yawn. At your own pace, finding a few more pandiculations. The invite is to do them on the standing layer. You can also come into like downward dog or the floor if you want. Letting out a sigh or vocalization on the exhale. Good. So bring little tremors, little shakes all over the body. And at random, trying to find like a little bit of bounce to your whole body. Think about throwing the limbs out. Again, any injuries, any hypermobility, very, very gentle as you do this. See if we can let go of control just a little bit, where I'm not shaking my body anymore. My body is being shook, shaking from the bones. At random, find a little playfulness here. Laugh at yourself for the ridiculous movement that you're doing right now. And let's go on full force shake for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back to floating. Let's come back to floating in a cloud. There are helium in your bones and everything is lighter. From this floating in air, let's start to move through the thickness of water. So you can start to mimic that Qigong, Tai Chi quality, maybe even do a few things you've seen before. But no need to be dogmatically perfectly still. I'm still keeping the weight shifting, keeping movement everywhere in my system. String on top of the head that suspends you up towards the sky. Everything else, tension dripping down towards the earth. Breathing through all of your skin. Aliveness throughout your body, especially in the hands and feet. Breathing into the belly. Breathing through the skin. Good. Let this water turn into honey. So now it's taking an extra amount of strength to carve through the space that you're in. Really moving through the honey with your whole body. Extra gripping of the bones with the muscles. So there's this thickness of honey that we're moving through. And imagine that gravity just intensified. Gravity just got double more intense. So there's this feeling of being crushed towards the earth, and I'm resisting by coming more upright as I push through. Now the honey turns into wet cement. It really takes a lot to move my limbs through. Whole body feeling stuck. Barely can move it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to floating in air in a cloud, bones of helium. Gravity is now half as intense as it normally is, meaning you just sort of float off the ground. As we come back to normal earth conditions, bringing life into your spine, into your chest. Moving the spine, moving the sternum, moving the ribs, moving the shoulder blades. And then aliveness in the hips. Moving from your center, moving from your hip bones on the outside. So right where we started, bringing movement everywhere in the body, circling the joints, small movements paired with bigger movements and curves. And everything we've built up, let's just take a minute or two to close out here. Moving how you want to move. Everything I say is an invitation. Perhaps you consider playing with space, taking up as much space as possible. Moving from the center, bringing it closer to the ground. Eyes, filling up the space that you're in. Eyes go where they want to go. Breathing through your whole body. Breathing through the skin, fascia, muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones. Invitation to keep going, put on a favorite song, improvise, enjoy. Thank you so much for practicing today. Hope to see you soon.